What's happening, boys and girls? I'm Steve from Wilson and Staley Custom Coachworks, and it's been a bit since we've done a video, so kind of give you a rundown why that's been. We've basically been super busy. We're super packed with work, and I haven't had time to do any videos. So I'm going to give you a couple rundowns, some of the stuff we got going on in the shop. I'm going to take a walk around out there, show you what we have happening. A bunch of people have been asking, hey man, what's happening with Master Blaster, Project Master Blaster? Well, we have another project that kind of takes precedent. It's a paying job. Project Master Blaster is one of my personal vehicles, and obviously it ain't paying the bills. So we had a customer that came to us and said, hey, I need this car done, and it's a pretty cool project. So all my time, energy, and research power has been going into this project. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a rundown what we're going on with that. So I'm gonna switch this around and I'll show you what we got happening. Okay, so this is why Project Master Blaster got put on the back burner. As you can see, you're like, why do you have a brand new car in your shop? Well, this just happens to be my wife's cousin's car, Fran's car. It's a 2016 Hellcat, and we are in the process of turning it into a race car. So obviously, very fast car to begin with, and he wanted to be much, much faster. So we are doing a ton of stuff to this car. As you see, everything that makes this car a Hellcat is pretty much gone. And you're like, why would you do that? Well, I'll tell you why. We are keeping it still a Gen 3 Hemi. The motor's actually over here. Let me take a quick walk around. Here you can see here's the Gen 3 Hemi that came out of it. And mind you, this is not a stock motor to begin with. It is a 6.2 liter, but it is stroked. It's stroked to 426, I believe. It had a Whipple supercharger on, a couple other mods. We got rid of all that. So what we are doing is we're converting it to a twin turbo setup. Contacted Nelson Racing Engines, and they sent us a set of their 66 millimeter twin turbos, their Gen 2s. G1 Pro is building us a custom sheet metal intake manifold, all built to our specs. All these stock Chrysler EFI management, all that stuff is going out the window. Instead, we will be using a Holley Dominator EFI setup to control everything. Also, the transmission, the 8-speed automatic, that is going away as well. I contacted Animal Transmission, and they are building us, as we speak, a full manual 4L80E to handle extra horsepower with a custom built converter. So it should be a pretty slick unit. Like I said, this car is going full-blown race car, full-blown drag car. We are back halving the car. We started taking out the wheel tubs. It will be getting a back half with coilovers in the rear with a parallel 4-link. I'm using, I think it was, who did we order that from? Competition Engineering, I believe, is who we got the back half front. The front we will be also heavily modifying. You can see here's the stock cradle with the stock active suspension. We're not using that anymore as well. Because this will be getting a full cage. All the fender wells will be coming out. All the mounts will be coming out. So we'll be cutting out all the sheet metal here, getting rid of all of that. We're probably going to a strut setup. That's the plan. You know, this is not going to be a street car anymore. There's going to be no more power steering. It's basically going to be a manual rack. It's just going to be a drag car. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be a stripped down race car. Everybody keeps on asking us, oh, what are you shooting for a time? Time slip. To me, that's irrelevant. We're just going to build the fastest car we can, with the best built car we can, and we'll bring it to the track and we'll do some testing and see what it does. So I'm a firm believer in that. If you start shooting for numbers, you start kind of putting limitations on yourself, and you start kind of getting narrow-minded. I don't want to do that. So I'm just looking at it, hey, let's build the best car we can, and we will go from there and see what we got. But yeah, this is basically the reason why, you know, Project Master Blaster got put on the back burner. It's gonna be a cool project. We typically don't work on stuff this new, but I don't know. I like this project. It's different. It's pushing us to kind of up our game into some of the modern stuff. We get guys that ask us all the time, and I typically don't do it unless it's Jeep stuff. You can see we do a lot of modern Jeep stuff. There's a, you know, a Jeep LJ that we're doing full cage in. You know, did a custom long arm suspension on. We do modern Jeep stuff, but typically as far as hot rod stuff go, not typically doing something that new. But it's a cool car. As parts start rolling in, I'll give you guys more and more updates on it. I think this is going to be a super fun car. It's even more fun for me because I like the customer, he's family. It's awesome guy, and it's kind of cool when somebody says, hey, you know, here's my general idea what I want, and let's just go for it. So, you know, gives us a general vision, and we get to build how we think it needs to be done. Here's the tires. These are the small tires we're going to be running on it. We're going to be able to run a big tire and small tire. So these are the smaller tires. You can see they're the Pro Drag radials, 32 by 14 by R15s in the rear. Sorry for the sticker being upside down, but you guys can figure it out. So yeah, that's one of the big projects we got going on. Do a pan around here. You can see why we've been super busy. 1944 that we did a while ago. Just in for some minor upkeep and some little tweaks here and there. Some tweaks to the fuel injection, some tweaks to the brake system, and some other stuff. There's a 56 Ford Fairlane that we're finishing up for a customer. It's a long-time customer of ours. Usually comes back every winter. We go through and kind of peck away at a bunch of stuff that he has on a list. Say, hey, I want to do this year. I want to do this, you know, this year, next year, whatever. So we converted it to EFI. We did basically rebuilt all his body mounts and some other structural stuff. Say Jeep that we're finishing up for a customer had a lift kit installed, you know, prior to us getting it. And we are readjusting all the angles, basically re-engineering the suspension the way it should have been done. See Jesse's crawling out from under there. So doing adjustable control arms front and back and kind of retweaking it so it rides as good as it looks. Over here, say 50 shoebox Ford. It's got a cool chop on it. This car was built back in the 70s. And we did a new paint job on it. And the last thing we got left on it is the rear axle. Customer wanted to swap it out to a posi. So I'm just waiting for the posi unit to come in, and then we can start getting that dialed in. Then it can come pick it up and enjoy it for the season. Over here, we have a Thunderbird, 57 Ford Thunderbird that's just getting some paint and body work. Nothing too crazy. It's just a, what we call, you know, an ice cream car, going out, having fun on the weekends. And we're straightening out some of the old body work. This car was restored quite some time ago, so we're doing a little bit of revamp on it. It's our 48 Chevy. This is one of our cars. This is a car that we were doing to send off to the auction. Unless one of you guys wants it, you can certainly buy it before it goes to the auction. Little small block Chevy with fuel injection. It's got a 700 R4 transmission, all brand new paint. We do have a new interior for it. It's not in, obviously. This is kind of in stages, like I said, because this is one of our cars. It gets put on the back burner until we have time. We kind of peck away at it. It's got all Dakota digital VHX gauges. Fairly modern. It's kind of a mix or a blend for a mild custom with some modern touches that make it just super drivable and super fun. Dana's got it up on Jackson's. Now he's finishing up the exhaust on it. A little custom exhaust that Dana's building for it. And some other stuff. But neat little car. We went through and redid all new chrome bumpers, brand new chrome grille, some other stuff. We shaved all the door handles and stuff like that. Just kind of a nice, slick, little clean build. We'll have a visor on it. Nothing too radical, more just a clean little build. Check out those sweet Super Cobra, or what are they, Cooper Cobra radial tires from the 80s. These are just some tires that we had kicking around, used for rollers. Those are not the tires that are going on it. But yeah, kind of give you a little rundown what we got going on. Now you can see why we haven't done too many YouTube videos. We are jamming and super busy. Oh, this thing's actually making some progress. We get so many questions about this wacky van. Dana's been kind of pulling out some metal magic on it. He's been doing some work on it. Done most of the work on it. Did those cool little eyebrows over the exhaust. Straighten out the rear tail pan. This thing was built a while ago and not by us, obviously, and the sheet metal work had a lot to be desired. There was no gaps or anything like that. So Dana straightened a lot of that out. He's doing a power window conversion on it. And these vans had curved window glass. And the vans also never had a T-top. So Dana is basically re-engineering the universe. So as you can see here, he had to cut the entire window opening out, and he is basically re-engineering everything so we can use flat glass. The reason why we're using flat glass is to get a good curved glass to go in here. It's going to be fairly complicated to get it all cut down and stuff. So our solution was, hey, let's just use flat glass. Let's simplify the problem. We can get it made in town, and if we ever smash the side glass, God forbid, that we can just get another piece of flat glass cut and make our lives a lot simpler. But as you can see, it is a ton of work, but Dana knows magic. He's got a really deep magical cat that he's pulling everything out of. So yeah, make some magic happen. See, look at he looks like a magician.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's what we got going on. So as always, if you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. I can't say that the videos are going to be as often as I wish they could be because we are working, but we'll give you some updates here and there, let you know how everything's progressing, how this crazy project that still doesn't have a name. I'm going to come up with a name for this crazy car. And until next time, you guys have fun. Go out in your garage and build some cool stuff. Check you later.